Hey guys, Tightrope here, and we're going to try do a team game 3v3 COH3 cast. Obviously quite hard with the UI, but let's see how it goes. Here's the player list. We'll try to stay on one player the whole time so that the team colors don't switch around too much. But this is a player list. I think overall ranks here, it's a random team on both sides. Pretty similar. I think the Axis had maybe like a 50 ELO advantage overall, and player ranks seem to be somewhere between 70 and about 500. Pretty even matchup though.
Trained and ready.
So let's see how we go. A bit of team game action. The team games at the moment maybe you know, plagued by a low number of maps and forward reinforced being so powerful in these modes. See how it plays out on this particular map though. I think this is like Gazala landing or something. Sorry, I
Water tube and crew are available.
forgot what it's called. I think something like that. Alright, got a couple of dingoes here from the Brit team. Okay, crowd out to the side. Dingoes might go hunting for that. Dingo, of course, very good when it comes to penetration. Great for chasing down those lights in the early stages. Got a bit of Vickers action, pushing through the center slightly. Big move here from the purple player. Probably won't be calling them by their actual names, just by their colours. Too hard to keep track of all their names, so we can't see the names when we select them and hover over them, but alright. Soldiering, oh, great hit from a mortar. Good merge, but still under a lot of pressure, that machine gun. Vickers does get forced away though. A few units coming in from the side. All these Afrika Korps lads. Artillery. I was getting very low, but it's a lot of DAC infantry pushing through the centre. Don't know where this dingo's off to. Suppression now kicking in through the centre. This is where the dingo seems to struggle a little bit against units that are in cover. Doesn't seem to be very impressive with its DPS against infantry. Not super well armoured either. Pretty easy to plink it down. More just repositioning back, couple more sections coming in, trying to get rid of the flamer. And the flamethrower, I think, is actually slightly out of range there. Could even go down. There it goes. The dingo dropping down some artillery here, I believe. She's having to dodge. Looks like the yellow Brit player is having a bit of trouble out on this right-hand side. It's gone for early healing. Couple sections. So far, no reinforced trucks out yet. I'd imagine that, you know, they could have got them from the Indian artillery with the heavy mortar, which I think is a very good option for these team games. Heavy mortar solid. Trucks are very, very strong in these team games. Oh, grenade out. Retreats into it. Dingo gets extremely low, but does survive. Quite a few squads now making their way out to this side. There's not a lot of action over here. A lot of free territory to capture. Flank on the machine gun here. Take a machine gun upgrade on the Sturmpanther. Not going for the grenade launcher. Here comes the crud.
Get to cover, you fucks!
Bit of damage. She decides to back away to avoid any further damage. Still waiting on repairs on this. Could make use of his teammates' healing as well. Could even have put the healing like in a position over here. Probably could have healed both bases there. Area of the healing is very high. Huge radius on that. Okay, no, he's actually going for a medical conversion on this truck now. He's got the heavy mortar out. Probably missed this timing by about a minute and a half, but not too bad at least. Dingo's in a little bit of danger there. But at the moment, looking a bit grim for the Brits. About to be getting triple capped here. Struggling a little bit for territory control. Feels like they need a bit of coordination on their dingo utilization.
We're losing a munitions point.
To one of them to go out hunting. For the crowd out to the left-hand side. Killing that would mean so much more territory control for the blue Brit.
A sector
It is random teams, so haven't really coordinated on that yet. Got a med truck out now, so this is when forward reinforced trucks start to roll out, eh? Here comes the 251 for 2 of the Wehrmacht players. I think we've seen 2 of those heavy mortars called in as well. Gotta be careful with that dingo. Goes very quickly to the Shreks.
Enemy ground forces have claimed a sector.
Gurkha coming in from the side, does not have a weapon upgrade yet. Dropped down some artillery, but easy to dodge that. And yeah, forward reinforcing makes this fight very difficult to win. Maybe take some good manpower trades, and actually it's gonna get the decro on the machine gun, but can just instant recrew it with the 251 mid truck. Looks like he might have jumped on it with pioneers though, not necessary. Oh, the mortar from the side actually getting some big hits. A lot of bleed here for the orange player. He goes for the instant recrew. Is that a squad wipe on his Falchion-Pie, or did their portrait just switch? Either way, the Brit player is running out of steam here. Units getting very low.
Grenades are being distributed.
The key package is doing well. Shtug D already for the Afrika Korps player. And the Brit team is not prepared for this. They've pretty much... Okay, we've got one AT rifle section over here. That's it.
We have 300 points remaining.
For a lot of recce packages, not a lot of anti-tank.
Anti-tank weapon and crew on
Pretty early for a Shtug as well. Maybe showing how good the territory control has been so far for the Axis. Largely because of this crowd out on the left-hand side, just continuously capping any attempts down that area. AT rifles are softening up the Shtug a little bit though. Big move through the center, big old blobs now. Could merge into the machine gun. Looks like I might have bugged out though. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, okay, it seems to have bugged.
Bishop SPGs will be made available shortly.
Still the Axis with the triple cap just about. Might not be able to close it though. Good hit from the mortar. Shuts down the central cap attempt. Smoke into cap now with the Jaegers. Will the machine gun survive this time? Doesn't need to retreat. He's got a mid truck right here. Could just have ran back like 20 range and reinforced from there, healed from there.
Bishop SPGs
An AT gun out now from the blue player. The anti-infantry plane here coming in. It's not particularly impressive. Bit of suppression, bit of health damage, but with a med truck right there, I don't think that's going to matter too much. The Royal Engineers should be able to beat the crowd here. He's trying to get away with it. Did not chase with the Royal Engineers, so it's going to get away. Second Stug now for the red Afrika Korps player.
Additional ordnance is being made available to artillery.
Here comes the teal Brit. Tries to steal away the machine gun, but it's quite a lot of lift off of firepower. Oh my god, he got away with it though. Really? And the Fallschirmjäger died? Wow. Was that to the AT rifles? That was crazy. Briefly pops himself into the Vet 1 mode, trying to boost up his range, fire a couple cheeky shots across here. Looks like he's popped the healing ability. I think that means, yeah. There he goes, popping some shots. Long range again. Brit team has managed to secure 2 VPs and are making some good inroads down that left-hand side as well. Trying to go toe-to-toe. The med truck is quite far back, should be further forwards, providing some actual reinforced value here. Ooh, squad down. I think that was a Stug D shot. Connecting just as they start to retreat. There's just a lot of heavy mortar shots raining down. Here comes a big old Brit blob. Shrek nearly knocks out the med truck, still alive though. And there's a big old Recce package. Blob tries to dodge away from the machine gun, does end up getting suppressed, but doesn't look like there's much follow-up. Kind of need a Stug D to come down there and do something about that, or maybe Nebelwerfer. Did that get cancelled early? I only see 2 rockets from it. No. Oh, they take a long time to land, don't they, those Nebelwerfer rockets? That was not a very long range barrage. And the time between the rocket's audio and the rocket's landing, that was extremely long. Made it quite a lot easier to dodge. But that could be quite a good weapon. Oh yeah, he's got 2 of them actually. This one's already Vet 1. Oh no, he's gone for the Vet upgrade, I believe. On that tech structure. From what I hear, the Nebelwerfer damage over time does not give it veterancy, like from the flames that it leaves on the ground. So it's something that does need to be addressed. Because otherwise, it's just going to vet up extremely slowly. So far the Stug D utilization's been okay, not incredible. Definitely leaving some performance on the table. And there we go, big Nebelwerfer knocks out a mortar back there. It's just a 3-inch though, not the heavy, and he's got the truck right there, easy recrew. And by the way, this reduces reinforced cost of nearby squads of Vet 1. He hasn't got it yet. It's part of why these truck blobs are so powerful. That was cool. On the Fallschirmjäger, they do get away, but this is a big move coming in. Pushing the Axis all the way back here. Got a Panzer IV though. Not much anti-tank.
A victory point is being overrun.
A couple airburst shells coming in here. Purple player's just completely asleep at the wheel here. Not moving his truck away at all. Did he just go AFK completely? No, he's moving these units around. He cannot multitask at all. And AT rifles try and knock out the decrewed Nebelwerfer. There it goes.
We're losing a victory point.
Suppression planes. Did he get some friendly fire on that? Was that from machine gun? I'm not entirely sure. Either way, it's getting quite chaotic now. Allies did manage to fight back quite nicely on the VPs during this timing. You know, they had controlled this for quite a long time, and these 2 points as well. They're down by about 100 now.
Airburst shells will decimate enemy
A decent Nebelwerfer area. Gets the D crew. But yeah, only 1 kill count. So we saw that the flames were the other 3 kills and does not get attributed to the Nebelwerfer, so it definitely needs to be addressed.
We got the upgrade. Let's get hunting.
Probably impacts the end of game stats as well. That's why I never really looked too much at the end of game Code 2 stats. Not quite as bad as the Code 3 stats, but definitely not very accurate. And didn't feel it was really that worthwhile of a metric to show. Oh, we've got a big old Brit blob ready to rumble again. A couple bishops out the back here now.
We're down to 200
And they're just barraging this area. Not really too much there. Like maybe... No? It's going to provide a bit of covering fire, throws up some flares. Remember, this VIT1 mode does increase the range of the machine gun as well, which is maybe a little bit silly. One of the reasons why the Stug D is so powerful at the moment. Especially if you get the upgraded machine guns. Yeah, I think it's the Armoured Support Battle Group. Or Armoured or something like that. Double AT guns coming forward to nearly knock out the Stug here. It's hanging on by a pixel, but he pops smoke. Getting out of there safely. AT guns under some pressure now. A lot of Axis infantry up here. That's going to get decrewed, but the truck goes down as well.
Our anti-tank gun crew
In a half track. Artillery getting involved now. Force doing alright. Kind of missing that Nebelwerfer though. What's that up to? He's running it onto the front lines. It looks like he's got a second one. Artillery coming down, not really hitting too much. Here comes the Nebelwerfer. A little bit of damage. Yeah, I mean, that's not that impressive. Was close to max range, but still, like, the speed at which the rockets are fired is quite slow. Kind of reminds me of the old land mattress. Relatively easy to dodge. Marta on the field now as well for a bit of anti-tank. Capping out the far edge with the Royal Engineers though, hasn't forgotten about that. If you're going for a lot of bishops as well, I would recommend going for the light vehicle training and the extra artillery shells. It really pumps them up to be extremely strong. I think it gives them 3 extra shells, goes from 6 to 9 I believe. And the light vehicle training I think gives them extra damage. It's like 10% extra damage. So it's a pretty good combination. It's what you saw me doing with my team games with Shadow Arter. Actually makes better than the BL 5.5. That only gets I think like 1 extra shell with the artillery saturation. It goes from 4 to 5, something like that. So you're better off with the bishops, which is kind of a shame. It makes the BL 5.5 it's kind of worse in almost every area. It's got more damage per hit, but fewer number of hits, fewer number of shells.
We're losing a victory
it's
point
worst
to
overall.
enemy action. BL 5.5 howitzers
And more vulnerable, you know, can't drive around, doesn't have the direct fire. Anyway, back to talking about the
Victory
game.
point under enemy
Both teams
control.
taking a bit of a rest here, but these Ford trucks are not off the field for too long. We have a Sturmpanther blob coming out to the side. Having a bit of trouble with the Gurkhas though, and really needs to take some cover positions. Did you just lose one? Okay, here come the planes. Did have one anti-air truck, I believe. Not the best though. Standardization of anti-air is not there yet. But a truck is a little bit underwhelming.
Toad's 17-pounder anti-tank guns are being pulled up.
They're just flying off the field, not coming through from further passes. Alright.
17-pounder anti-tank guns available.
Okay, this has gone for a BL 5.5, the yellow British player. I suppose one benefit of that is you don't have to go for the side tech into Bishop. So if you've skipped that, you know, you're already tier 4. You're 5.5, I mean, it's okay. Seems like the Axis are having a bit of trouble fighting back now, though. Brit team seems to be quite good at digging in around here, but at the moment the VP situation is a little bit grim. He's popping up some flares. Artillery's actually just doing damage to the Strokes here. A 17-pounder on the field there, getting a pretty big hit. Stroke has to back away. Boys, Tommies, looking for some targets. Gazala doing pretty effectively, just finding opportunities to do damage with it. Gurkha's coming here to jam the cat for a little bit longer, throw out a couple grenades. It's like a suicide mission. You got to be careful. I suppose if you're suppressed like that, it's an extra second or so to start retreating. Kind of need to factor that into your retreats. I'm still not used to doing that yet myself. Go for Company of Heroes 2. Get some big artillery, 17-pounder decrude.
Buckle up, gents.
Is that
We're down to
Nebelwerfer
100
coming in
points.
from the side there? Squad wipe achieved. 0 kills though. Still alive, that crowd, and it's just been controlling that side the entire time. Really need to send a dingo over there in the first few minutes. Been paying the price the entire match since then. But Triple Cap running against the Brit team, they are in some major trouble here. They really need to get something going. Don't know why he's capping muni points instead of running straight for the VP, the blue Brit player. This is not a time to be loafing around. Need to get on those VPs so fast. Triple Cap got to drown out incredibly quickly. 17-pounder out on this side now as well. Throwing up some recce package flares. Maybe doesn't quite have vision, or maybe the 17-pounder can't land accurately here. Seems like all of its shots landing on the terrain, and finally lands a shot on its 4th attempt, I think it was. Pretty good hit. Missing again though.
This is bollocks. We're down to only 25 points.
Seems like the elevation having caused some issues. Suppression coming in. MG under some pressure though. Can't reinforce fast enough. Good Nebelwerfer though. Decruise the 17-pounder. Jumps back on it immediately though with that truck. Constant reinforcement from the truck, even though it's, you know, the model pops out of the half track, it reinforces like from the half track as it's running out, not able to get to the gun. Constant death loop there. And there it goes eventually. Couldn't reinforce fast enough. Oh, big artillery. Half-track's in some trouble. Steals the machine gun there, the yellow Brit. There goes the half-track. Drops in another Sturmpanther.
Royal
Engineers did cap in, now it's a triple cap against
Report just in. Enemy have
the
300
Axis 3. Should plant a bunch of mines down on this VP to prevent capping attempts. It's got the minis for it, it's got 200 to spare from that player's perspective at this stage.
We have a surplus of command points, Commander.
Couple stroke Ds now for the purple player. Not as scary overall since they can't get the health bonuses and all the other side tech upgrades in Afrika Core 1. Okay, big hits from the 17 pounder, gets decrewed by the Werfer. Got a truck right there. The truck might actually go down to the Nebelwerfer rockets. Pretty good connections from these Nebelwerfers.
Enemy have 250 points left.
Repositioning now. Bunch of Brit artillery coming down this area though as well. One of the Nebelwerfers does get decrewed back here.
CMP truck deploying for service.
Guessing that's to one of these howitzers. Looks like the BL 5.5 is doing alright. Nearly Vet 2 already. Just completely forgotten about coming out to the site here. The red DAC player could have slowed down this VP drain massively. Here he goes now. The amount of artillery is starting to get quite high. There goes a squad. Decent suppression and damage, but you need kills. It's the only thing that matters, and got the improved logistics combined with the volunteer infantry upgrade. It's what makes these trucks so powerful. In these team games, reinforced cost is so much lower. You can afford to spam and blob like this. Very little consequence. Looks like he's going to suicide the truck to try and free up a bit of pop cap. Don't have to do that. You can withdraw and refit it. Tier 4. Get some resources back. Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Starting research on a training center. Enemy tank! Territory sector lost, Commander.
Okay, good idea here. They did cap out to the far edge. Panzer IV still seems to be doing very well, up to Vet 3 now. Tries to go for a steal on the Nebelwerfer, not happening though. It seems like the Axis are just in a bit of disarray at the moment. The Brit artillery catching them quite far back, doing some big damage. Pretty good walking Stuka there, nearly gets a bunch of squad wipes. Getting his way back, and he's just surviving the Panzer IV coming in, hoping to polish off these extremely low sections, but they... well, one of them does go down. 17 pounder very slow rotating to handle that threat though. Panzer IV just staying up here, continuing to damage. Bit of artillery coming down, some planes. 17 pounder gets very low. Big Luftwaffe. Sturmpanther blob coming in here. Trying to get the decro on the 17 pounder, which is pummeling Stroke D at the moment. Kind of having trouble knocking it out. The forward reinforcer is just so fast, even with this entire army. There's like 5 squads shooting at it. Still took so long to go down. You can just instant recrew it. Now trying to get away here. Axis making some big moves. Going into the center. The Stroke D out the back is getting very low. Keeps revealing itself firing, and that's why it eventually did go down to the 17 pounder freshly recruited. We've got a Crusader in here now. All sorts of artillery coming down both directions.
We're losing men here.
To keep track of what's what at the moment.
I'm hit.
But it's the Allies still in control of 2 VPs. That's the most important thing. The 17-pounders starting to punish this DAC player. He's not that careful with his Strug Ds. He's up losing that one. Could be one couple going down for the purple player as well. He's tank ridden his way up to the front lines though.
A strategic point is being a victory point is being
Boys
overrun.
AT rifles coming in from the side. Planes could be quite good. He pops smoke. That's the decro on the other 17-pounder.
Sector lost. Repeat. Sector lost.
But the Tommy's stopping the decap, but here come the Basilieri. They're pretty well upgraded at this stage.
To enemy action.
MG doesn't have vision because of the smoke. There's some major artillery coming in, completely shutting down the Axis capping.
Beggars are threatening a victory.
Panzer IV's back in here though, good decro on the machine gun, 17-pounders recrewed though. Panzer IV having to back away, could even go down still. Neverwerfers not quite getting the job done.
From the front. The enemy has 75 points left.
Just lands in a ring around that 17-pounder, unfortunate. Engineers out there trying to cap, trying to close the show. 71 left for the Axis. He's got a Tiger on the field, but don't want to be running it right into these 17-pounders.
CMP truck deploying for service.
Huge damage on the Tiger. It's just continuing to get pumped. Those 17-pounders, they got decent range. Here comes some more artillery, and there's a lot of Axis units right here. Tiger could even go down if he's got vision. Doesn't look like it. Switches over to the Panzer IV. Going in for the cap here with the Crud. Triple cap against the Axis though. So the Royal Engineers are going to try jam it for as long as possible. 35 points. Axis sending a lot of troops out to this side is not necessary. Need to be going into the middle.
The enemy have only 25 points left. The beggars are threatening a
Planes coming down, trying to clear the path. He's going in for the capture now. With the Panzer Grenadiers. Here come the Brit artillery though. Oh, the Bishops I believe they are. He's got to be able to get them neutralized though.
The enemy has our victory.
With the Grenadiers. Squad's getting wiped though by these Bishops. Gurkha's coming in from the side. Got a couple Panzer IVs though, softening them up quite nicely. Everything that was going for the cap is dead. Here comes the Afrika Korps player. Gotta be careful with those, 9 shells, those Bishops. Artillery's coming down for such a long time. Where's this walking Stuka going? 17-pounders facing the wrong direction. It's good news for the Tiger. Neverwerfers coming in doing some massive hits. But the Brit player going in for the cap. Just getting it off before the section goes down. Stuka's right here on the front lines is dangerous business.
Anti-tank weapon and crew.
Panzer IV coming in from the side on the 17-pounder. Causing it to rotate. Gets decrewed. Okay, we've got 2 Martyrs out to the side. Looks like he's gone for the capping upgrade on them. The 17-pounder doesn't have vision, I believe. The Krug comes in and makes the capping go even faster. And then it dies by shooting at the squad that it could see. Okay, now the point's draining against the Brit team. P-Green over here, he's going in for the cap. I think he just needs to suicide, leave the Martyrs in the capture circle against the 17-pounder to stop this decap attempt. Instead, he's just going to suicide, leave them outside the capping circle, and they're going to die anyway. Okay, well, that was maybe not ideal for the Axis.
Infantry taking losses here! Want our attention!
Good amount of artillery coming down the center. Huge damage. But still, the victory points.
Commander, we have artillery on standby.
Panzer Grenadiers out to the side. The Royal Engineers tried to go out there for a lone cap, but forgotten about, and they die. The Tiger's over here now. But that's going down too fast. The 17-pounders up to Vet 2 already, and he's got a Panzerschreck on those Gurkhas. And the airburst shells just do massive damage. 2 squads dead just like that. Allows the Gurkhas to complete the capture. Now the Axis are in some major trouble. They're trying to go for the decap in the center. We've got one section out on the edge there, trying to hide in the smoke. Oh, artillery hammering down both sides. But it's the Brits who remain in control. 2 points remaining. They're going to close the game there.
Victory is ours. Any excuse to crack
Wow.
the goods.
Ended up being a pretty close game overall. Definitely the control on that left-hand side, just completely forgotten about that one crowd, able to control that left side the entire game, basically. Insane. Just got completely forgotten about. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty fair representation of the team games at the moment. Just those trucks combined with, you know, the Vet 1 reinforced boost from them, and then the cheaper reinforced cost from the battle group. Not the most aesthetically pleasing style at the moment, leading to, you know, big artillery to fight back against that. But, you know, still the Axis made it a very close contest. Part of the reason as well, you know, the 17-pounders, when they're getting decrewed, don't seem to be having any weapon health damage. Makes them harder to kill off. But yeah, GG, well played by the Brits, and there we go. Bit of a team game action. I think it's very hard to cover at the moment without enhanced, you know, different replay tools, switching colors and stuff. It's way too confusing, I think. It's tough in 1v1s, but it's even harder in 3s. Kind of just have to go with that, like a general overview type view, I think. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed it. If you like your game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. And I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.